Adam Hewison here, president of INO.com and co-creator of MarketClub with your video market update for Monday, the 1st of April. Well, here we are. It's the second quarter. Are we going to have a quarter like the first quarter when stocks go up 10%? Maybe and maybe not. But at Washington, we have a problem. You know, Jack Lew just announced on Friday, Good Friday as a matter of fact, kind of an under-the-radar announcement that he was heading for Europe for meetings with the finance ministers. I'm not sure that's necessarily a good thing. And the other news out of Cyprus, which makes it even worse, is the fact that the Cypriot president, Nikos Anastasiadis, withdrew millions of euros like a few days, a few weeks, or a few days before the clampdown came on everybody. That's rumored to be 21 million euros going to London. How do you like that? I'm sure that's going to make Cypriot very happy when they hear that news. Okay, Tesla turns a profit, so that's good news, and we'll be looking at that stock today. We'll also be looking at some other markets like the USG, Deere, and Juniper Networks. Remember David Stockman? Yep. He said the most interesting thing a long time ago. Not that he's out pushing his book, trying to sell books, but basically he said this almost 30 years ago. None of us really understands what's going on with all these numbers. Now, here's someone who is in charge of OMB. And I believe that's true both of Republicans and Democrats today. So let's look at the charts as they're the only things that really tell you what's going on truthfully. So looking at the S&P, we're starting with the S&P 500. And you can see right here, S&P 500 still in a bull market. We still have not made new highs, but however, we're getting closer and closer to those levels. This is a weekly chart, by the way. You can see we're actually down for the week, but let's go to a daily chart. And we're down for the week as well. We're down for the day, rather. This is a concern that I have now with this potential negative engulfing line. If this doesn't improve, we could be having a top put into this market. So let's go to our next market, and that's going to be the euro dollar. We're going to move it around a little bit, make it more interesting for you guys today. So we're looking at the euro dollar. Euro dollar, big rally in the euro dollar. The daily kicked in, obviously, today, indicating a exit position just for the very, 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 very short-term traders. So I think but I still think the 130 level is going to be like a brick wall, even the 129 level. So I don't think we're going to see much above those levels. So let's go to our next market, and that's the Dow, which has really been the star performer here for Q1. It really was higher than the S&P 500, so it's coming up in just a second. But the Dow has really been acting well up until today, where we see a little bit of profit taking coming into the market. Still not a negative, but the reality is here you have a little bit of a divergence going on, a little bit of a warning sign as a matter, because we're very overbought and we just tipped below the previous low here, which is an indication that we may be losing some momentum here. And if we go down further, you can see we've just turned down on the market right here, which is indicating further it's losing momentum. So be careful in these stocks. On the gold market, gold is continuing to flatten out. We've talked about this before for the last several weeks. You can see how it's really kind of locked in this broad trading range. And this is the key levels that I would be looking for on gold. Not the 1600 level, but right here. And that's the 1620 area. And it's right here, 1620. That's where, that to me is the line in the sand on the upside. And on the downside, you're looking somewhere 1580 to 1560. So 1580 to 1560 is support. So 16 to 20, we still think this market longer term is going to make the turn eventually, because I don't think we can keep printing all this money and still survive and not have a sanity check by going back to gold. So let's see how that plays out. But generally speaking, gold's been a big disappointment. I think it was down about 3 or 4% in the first quarter, and that's not what anyone expected. But the trend is your friend, and the trend's been down from 1672, really turned down 1653 and then 1603. So it's really made some negative trends are in place for here. It's not, don't rush to buy this market. There's no reason to park your money in something that's not going to go up. But when we do get the signals, when this turns green here, and this turns green here, and this turns green here, then go in, all in, because that's going to be a nice run in the gold market. So let's close that market and go to our next market. And we're looking at the NASDAQ composite index. Let's take a look at this and see what's going on. NASDAQ has really been the sloth in this. What do you say? Sloth? I guess sloth in this market. It really hasn't joined in like the Dow, for example. It's been the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ. So let's just go to a chart. Let me go while it's warming up. I'm not sure what the problem is here, but we've had some electrical problems in our area. So let me go back to that NASDAQ chart and see if we can get it up for you. There it is. Okay, so big down day today. We're down actually about almost 1%, which is a big down day. Looks like we may have lost the momentum here on the upside, and we'll see this market going down. Key thing here in my mind is going to be this trend line from the lows. We just draw that in. If we break that trend line, which goes back to November of last year, November 15th, then I think we'll see a pullback maybe to the 3100 level. So I think caution is the buy word right now in these markets. Crude oil, which we're bullish on, all of our signals are bullish. We have seen a pullback today in that market, but generally speaking, we see this as a longer-term bull market. What could potentially derail the market is you can see how we were under pressure. We've come right back up, 96.83 now on this market, and we're heading for this 99 level. I think it's going to be really an objective that we'll hit. 99 to 100, that's going to be the key level. If we hit triple digits, 100, it'll get everyone's attention, and every politician will be talking about it. Come kingdom come. So there's a last buy signal in the last weekly. So we have all of our tools in accordance. The trend is strong on the upside. So let's watch that very carefully. Look at Tesla Motors, who announced earnings today. Now, we've been very bullish on the concept of electric cars. We like the concept. However, nobody's really made a push to get those things put into the marketplace except Elon Musk. Elon Musk is probably this generation's Thomas Edison, brilliant entrepreneur. There you can see the action today. Boom, new high ground. We got the maximum on this, and you can see this is new high ground. Looks all over the place, but generally speaking, this is new high ground. You're broken through. This is how I would look at this market very, very simply, and here's how we look at it. So here you are. You had really strong resistance at the 40 level right here. That's at $40 a share. Okay. Then the lows right here were at 26. So we take 26 from 40, gives us 14. We add 14 to 40, that gives us 54. So our target on this market is going to be $50 to $54 a share. I think that's what we'll be looking at on the upside. Is it a buy? Well, according to our rules, yes, it is. It's a buy when it moved over these highs right here. So if it sees a pullback here in the next couple of weeks or days or whatever, back to the 40 level, I would be a buyer of this market because it looks like it's made the turn. They made their first profit ever at Tesla. Pretty exciting. And Elon, I'm a big fan of yours. Keep up the good work. So let's go to our next market, and that's going to be stock that showed up on our radar today, and that's Deere. They make the tractors. It runs like a deer. Great logo, great line, but their stock isn't doing so well. I'm going to just take this. There's the monthly charts, and let's go in, let's say, 6 months. This is not a good picture at all for Deere because look at this. We've taken out this low here, and we're flirting with new lows for the year, which is not a good sign. We're very heavily oversold, but doesn't mean to say we can't go lower. My feeling is we could see this market go down from certainly the maybe around the 78 level down to these levels right here, 80. Let's scope this out just a little bit further. Yeah, I think 80 could well be in the cards. I think it could even get a little bit lower than that, even 78, which is down towards these levels, but definitely do not want to be long this stock. This just showed up on our trade triangles today and on the radar there. So let's go to our next market. Next market we're looking at is going to be, let's just wait for this to come up. USG is the symbol, and the company's USG, and let's just see when this stock comes up. Here it is, another signal there, negative, minus 100 on this market's heading lower, and if we put a longer term trend line in here, if we scope this out just a little bit further, let's go. Here we are. Let's just go back to about here. Oh, You click on there, it shows you the little yellow box there. That tells you the trend line's in place. And, well, it could certainly come back to the trend line here, which is around 21, 22, $23 a share. So not a huge move, but certainly this market would be on the defensive. I would not be in this market right now. So moving on to our last stock for the day is Juniper. And this stock is also in a negative mode. And I want to show you how, afterwards, I'll show you how we found these stocks and how powerful MarketClub is in finding stocks either to get into or get out of. And this is one of the key things that we do here at MarketClub. So let's just wait for this to come up. Let me just go back here. So here's Juniper. You can see it's all red with the final one here, the monthly one at Monday, April 1st at 1847. It's currently 1856, but let's go to the chart again and see how the charts look. So here we are. Chart's a little bit oversold. Nonetheless, it has made a turn, and you have, let's just put this into, so it's very close to that support line. So it may find some support here and bounce back up, but I would not look for a lot from this stock right now. I want to show you how we find these stocks. And the key thing is to go to your trade triangles, which are right here. Click here. And this brings up a situation where you have all these trade triangles, show up an awful lot of trade triangles today with a lot of reds coming on the board. But if you look at the equity market and we want to see stocks over 2 million shares, trading on average over 2 million shares, and we want to look at the monthly, and we want to search today, just today. This is since yesterday, so let's just search today. And boom, here it is. You can see you can see these actually since we last talked. Caterpillar's just come on the radar screen. But what's really this Jupiter, USG we talked about, Deere and so forth, American Greetings is the only one that's positive because it's being taken over by the Weiss family today. That's why it's up. But look at all the red here. This is not a good sign, and another warning sign that we may be having problems with the stock market. So let's watch this very carefully. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow. Adam Hewison for Market Club. Thanks so much for taking the time to spend with us and watch this update, and let's see how things play out.